Everywhere, people are talking about yoga. And for that reason, you might be wondering what's the best way for you to implement yoga into your daily life. We will be answering that, but first, let's talk about what yoga is and what it is not. Historically, yoga consists of 8 limbs or categories like ethics, yoga poses, and breathwork. And together they teach us how to have a meaningful and purposeful life. Yoga's teachings keep us physically healthy, and they help to restructure and retrain our existing mental patterns. A main goal of yoga exercises is to help you practice and reach a meditative state. Learning to meditate cultivates focus. Focus helps us to direct our thoughts, which in turn affects how we feel. When we direct our thoughts, we direct our actions, and we live with intention. And this is why yoga is such a powerful tool. In most yoga studios, especially in the Western world, yoga postures are emphasized. Yoga postures are foundational to bring in stability to one's physical body. It is recommended, however, to start your yoga journey with postures, breathing exercises, meditation, theory, and the examination of your personal ethics. Studying yogic theory is important because it will give perspective to your life and the world around you, connecting you to the deeper meaning behind the yoga exercises. Later in this program, we will discuss basic theory, including the 5 bodies or dimensions that comprise a human being. We'll talk about prana, aka life energy, karma, and we'll talk about the dimensions that make up the mind. The mind is like water. When it is still, it's transparent and reflective, and consciousness shines through without prejudice, thus seeing everything as it is. Uncontrolled emotions and compulsive tendencies disturb the water's essence, creating ripples and waves. And when we see through the stormy water, our perspective is unclear and confused. Everything we observe becomes tainted by our disturbed mind, from the physical world outside of ourselves to our imagination and our memory. And a disturbed mind can only see a distorted world. Yogi habits create a deeper sense of awareness, in which you will manifest health and happiness for yourself and for the world around you. Yogi habits can connect you more intrinsically to the life around you, to the air you breathe, to the earth that feeds you, the wind that spins you, and most of all, to the fire that's burning inside of you. We are all human, meaning that we are full of extraordinary possibilities, some of which only manifest after we filter out the patterns and habits that are not serving us. To become a yogi, you have to live like one. You don't need to pass an exam or anything. You need commitment to add various powerful daily habits like meditation, yoga poses, and breathwork to your schedule. These habits will connect you with your true nature, while you begin to shed inauthentic habits that your upgraded psychological constructs no longer desire. The accumulation of small daily habits will ultimately transform your entire experience of life. Over the last 18 months, I've created a transformative yoga program to guide you step by step to implement yogi habits into your life. We'll create space for you to have a hard look at yourself by asking yourself questions about your experience and views of life. During each exercise, you will have about a minute to write your answers down in a notebook or wherever you'd like. Other exercises will invite you to briefly close your eyes and meditate on the answers and the impact they have on your life. If you need to spend more time on a particular exercise, pausing the video is always an option. It is important to do all of the exercises. This will help you feel vested in your aim. The more vested you are, the more you will get from this program. As you move through this program, I recommend you find a place where you are least likely to be distracted. You want to stay focused for the duration of the video. Now, let's start with the first exercises. So sit up, take a deep breath, and answer as honestly as you can. Somewhere inside of you, you know you have it in you, but are you taking intentional action towards the life that you claim you want? This life that you say you want, is this really built from your deepest desires? Or is it constructed from ideological debris after a lifetime of disappointment? Most people think that high levels of success are unattainable because of people's blind spots, which they are not willing to address. Due to this, most people become complacent and they settle for an average life, as long as it is slightly better than the lives of those they compare themselves with. Most of us have suppressed our dreams because we stopped believing in our ability to consciously shape our lives. We lack the motivation because we are stuck circling in old belief systems and patterns which are driven by our blind spots. One way we stay stuck is through our obsession with consumption. In order to break free, we must step out of our comfort zone and behave outside of this societal norm. We must remember we are so much more than an accumulation of material things. Another vital component in our awakening is to realize that our external environment is not what defines us. Your IQ, your childhood environment, societal and cultural norms, they don't have to define who we are, who we become, and what we accomplish. Even people who had the toughest beginnings can influence and inspire billions of people. And the most privileged person can have a hugely detrimental effect on the well being of the planet. No matter where or what you were born into, there is an infinite well of divine consciousness waiting for you to tap into. This is the birthright of every human being on the planet. And with commitment and the right focus of mind, even the shittiest dealt deck of cards can transform into endless open doors of possibilities. Thankfully, the technologies of yoga are here to take you there. Yoga can help you let go of all the illusions that you've accumulated. It can lift and clear the veils that obstruct your vision. Yoga shifts our perspective and assists to remove physical, energetic, and mental blockages so that prana may flow freely through you as it is meant to. As prana, the life force or universal energy, flows through you with ease and grace, it is inevitably that it upgrades every part of you. You begin to see differently, do things differently, act differently, and ultimately you head in a new direction and arrive in an entirely new place. Your new upgraded self takes you to new upgraded places you could not previously dream of. As you upgrade, all the relationships in your life may begin to shift as well. These shifts can be small or they can be hugely dramatic. There's no predicting exactly how your changes will unfold. There is predicting that something will most certainly change. The habits that you will embody as a yogi are about taking care of yourself, to connect with your most authentic self and all of surrounding life. A consistent practice creates balance, and when we are balanced, we can stand firmly in the storm of life without letting our emotions uproot us. Managing our psychological structures instead of them managing us makes all of the difference in how we handle our feelings and emotions. As we continue to grow in our ability to manage our emotions, we gain clarity. And as a result, we make better decisions because we choose from a grounded place and not from an irrational or compulsive state. Our clarity then recalibrates our path towards more joy and less suffering. And the more joy we have impacts not only us, but the lives of all those we come in contact with and beyond. And I realize this all might sound like a lot to deal with. Some people think that we are discussing some idealistic way of being that appears to be out of reach to most, but it is not. It's a journey of sharpening our mind. You get to start from wherever you are at any given moment. This process is available to anyone and everyone. It is a matter of choosing to take action. It's about taking steps in the right direction. One choice, one step, one action at a time. You want to stay focused on where you want to go, so you keep moving forward even when you veer off track. Know that it is natural to detour and to get distracted. And in those moments, and they will come, remember that growth, progress, and our evolution towards upgrading your daily habits is not linear. When you drift, bring yourself back again and again. And each time you do, you are flexing and strengthening your mindfulness muscles. As you recognize habits that you would like to let go of, and you begin to choose new habits, it is imperative to focus on who you want to be. Research has shown that identity-based practices are way more powerful. They will allow you to be motivated on a deeper level. When you connect with your deepest truth, the path to take unfolds before you. Your actions don't just touch a remote aspect of your experience, the habit becomes you. Old neural pathways will lose their potency as you direct your energy to new neural pathways that support the you that has been waiting to break free and to be fully self-expressed. Focus on your trajectory, on the steps you are taking right here and right now. If your goal is to live an enlightened life, your success will come from the accumulation and gathering of tools that work for you and how you use them in your daily habits to build a strong spiritual foundation. And as you do, you lay the groundwork for the possibility of living a life with more enlightening moments. This will most likely not happen instantaneously, which is why we must focus on the path. Our moment-to-moment choices that make up one's life. It is important to realize that your current overall experience of consciousness is a lagging measure of your daily meditation. So don't be disheartened. One way to measure your progress on this journey is by upgrading the peak and the bottom states of consciousness that you experience. Remember, if you get a 0.1% better result every day, in 1 year from now through compounding, you'll be at 144% of your starting level. If you think that you are too busy to add new habits to your life, let's take an honest look at your day. What do you do in your free time that is so important? We said that this process requires taking a hard look at ourselves. This includes looking at what we do with our time. How do we expend our life force? What activities are you dedicated to? Besides sleeping, eating, and taking care of dependents, how does your job make you feel? Do you have the urge to unwind after work? Do you party? Do you watch the big and the small screens? Do you shop a lot? Do you overeat? Do you watch a lot of sports? Are you changing your state of consciousness with fancy drinks at the bar? When you map out how you are spending your free time and how you want to upgrade some of your habits, you might be afraid of what you will lose. More resistance will arise. You are attached to your favorite TV shows, the Christmas feeling or dance parties you're going to. And there's nothing wrong with any of these activities. However, your attachment to them stands in the way of a fresh connection with these activities and experiences, and the world around you that you are unconsciously shutting yourself off from, through the choices that your previous, less evolved self has made. So don't be attached to your likes and your dislikes. Be open-minded. Objectively observe and enjoy everything that comes your way. It is a strenuous question to ask ourselves if what we are doing at any particular moment in time is indeed the very best way to spend our time. Always ask yourself why you are doing something. Don't do something just to run away from something. Remember, don't let your actions be about goals, but let them be about processes. Let them be about creating, about expressing love, about experiencing joy in this moment. What habits are you willing to reduce or let go of? As an autonomous human being, you can have any habit you like. What I am asking of you is to take a look at whether you are making these choices consciously and to ask yourself if they are working to get you closer to a more fulfilled and joyful life. Profound satisfaction doesn't come from instant gratification. It comes from working towards long-term bliss, service, and happiness for yourself, for fellow humans, and for this planet. So build your life and expend your precious energy around that. Life is a creative force. Your consciousness is a creative force, and in order to become the very best creator that you can be and that the world needs you to be, you must get still and connect with the subtle parts of you that are interwoven with the entire cosmos. This is where you access the eternal serenity inside of you. This space within you is your well of infinite bliss and opportunities. In order to make sustainable change in our lives, let's consider some basic strategies. Connect with your why. Many people on the planet today are not actively inspired to live the best life they can. To be able to make sweeping changes in your life, you need to be deeply connected to what drives you, so you can make meaningful changes from the inside out. It is imperative to connect with your why. Remember your why because it can carry you through your darkest moments. What's your motivation to transform your life? What is it you came to do here on this planet? What is the life that you envision for yourself? If you don't know the answer, welcome to the club. What have you come to do here today? That is what matters. That is what you need to know. Do not worry about the future. Consider what is possible right now and take it from there. Who do you want to be today? You need to be committed to yourself and to being the best that you can be. It's okay to make mistakes and even to have setbacks, as long as you are firmly committed to getting back up again. How will you stay in action even when you are not motivated? Make sure that you make your choices from your place of conscious awareness, not from a place of reactivity. If you are reacting to pain, you are only going to stay motivated while the pain is there. So your motivation and your results will not last. And once the pain is gone, you will give up on your habit until you develop the pain again, going around in circles. Pain does motivate you. It makes you want to run away from it. But for continuous, consistent action, you have got to remember your commitment to being the greatest expression of yourself. You need to know where you are going. Habits are blessings when you choose them consciously. It is not sustainable to change habits to try and please other people. An external drive is impermanent. If the person you are changing for falls away from your life, your negative habit will most likely return. Again, pain might be a good initial motivator, yet ultimately you must change for yourself. You are the most important person in your life. Envision for a moment the possibilities of what your life can become once you are no longer captive to the habits that you've inherited from your past. Imagine a life where you are liberated from all of the recurring thoughts that loop in your brain on a daily basis. Imagine that you're free from these mental loops that ultimately do not serve you. What possibilities can you imagine for your life when you embody your authentic self? When you allow your true nature to be fully self-expressed? The practice of yoga makes us more mindful of our addictive behaviors. When you succumb to your addictive behaviors, you do not serve your long-term and highest goals. Sinking into old habits is a natural part of the process because old habits die hard after all. Your evolution and transformation are the goals towards becoming a full-fledged human being that flows with the possibilities of life. I have selected 13 yogi habits that collectively will make your life a more harmonious experience. These habits are visualization, meditation, yoga poses, learning theory, cold showers, conscious nutrition, breathwork, being a force for good, journaling, sleeping, chanting, organizing, and grounding. In this transformative yoga coaching program, each individual habit is taught as its own separate module. Every module contains exercises that either make you think or act with the objective to make changes to your life. You can do some activities fairly quickly, while others require more time. They all help you get where you are going. Begin each module when you are ready to dedicate the necessary time to implement the habit related to that module. You don't have to incorporate all the habits in this course to make this a successful journey for you. The final objective is to upgrade your experience of life, and every single routine and every individual action counts. Don't rush through this program to have done it. Take your time with it, to incorporate it. Approach it mindfully, like the yogi that you are becoming. Let the information sink in from your conscious mind into your subconscious. The changes you are implementing consciously will inevitably find resistance from the existing structures that rule your mind. Your autopilot mode will be threatened as you are trying to take back control of your life. Even though what you are going through may not be pleasant, your mind has identified with its routines to the extent that it prefers to continue living in the comfort of familiar illusions, rather than stepping into the possibilities of the unknown. This is natural. Whenever we do something differently, resistance is often part of the equation. With time, the positive shifts will accumulate, and as they do, you will see and feel the results of your efforts. Therefore, whenever you have resistance to making changes that are meant to help you grow, it is recommended to do it anyways. You must be stronger than your old habits. Push through the resistance and through the barriers to forge a different path towards your new you. Your current psychological structures have created barriers filled with uncomfortable emotions to keep you inside of your comfort zone. When the fear of processing arises, specific thoughts will pull at you. Use this pull to push back harder. Use the resistance to grow your muscles of mindfulness. Like in weight training, the heavier the weights, the stronger you will become. Becoming in charge of what's happening inside your mind is your warrior training. There is no way but through. You have to go through your existing psychological structures to process them so their grip and impact on you will lessen. It is like shedding light on the monsters, the messy closet, the dust bunnies. You must be willing to face what it is, to clean up whatever mess there is in the most effective way possible. Not until you take responsibility For your current situation, will you be able to change it? Baby steps and any change in the right direction is progress. Depending on your environment, your living situations, and your job, you can go fast or you can go slower, but you have to keep moving. What is it that you want to become more than anything else? Not what you want to do, not what you want to have, but what do you want to be? Why? For the next visualization activity, close your eyes and for 1 minute visualize what you want to be. Don't think about how unrealistic this might seem. Let yourself dream and imagine. Open your mind and tune in to your heart. For the next visualization activity, close your eyes. Our experience at this moment is just a tiny percentage of our total lifetime and the effect that our life will have. Visualize your life from birth until the day you die as one energy that flows through the universe, creating and materializing on this planet. Realize that your consciousness ultimately is all that you are. Yoga teaches us that we are neither our body nor our mind. We are not our thoughts or our feelings. We are an empty canvas. We are continuously painting and repainting with the most beautiful colors that existence has given us, and sometimes with the most horrific shapes. We are the brush and the canvas. To be more conscious of the life we are creating, we have to acknowledge that we are the creators of our lives. Let us remember and reclaim this fact as we powerfully choose what we want to paint. We have the power to recreate our present and our future with new colors and images that reflect our true and full potential. The closest thing to what you truly are your ideals, your hopes and your dreams. These are driven by your most elevated perspective. If you don't spend enough time blending the aspects of your conscious and subconscious mind, your ideals end up shrouded in a dark place where they don't have the opportunity to manifest. Close your eyes and visualize your ideals and values, not as a reaction to something you see as wrong in the world, but as something you know that will make life a better experience for yourself and for the world around you. Connect with the greatest love that you feel in your heart. Give it some time and notice what these manifestations feel like. Sit with that feeling. To make sweeping changes in your life, it's important to remember why you are bothering to step into the discomfort of the unknown. Focus on your present moment and embody the processes that will allow you to become who you've always wanted to be. Do you remember? Many people think that they need something like a house, a partner, or confidence, whatever, before they can become who they want to be. Capitalism has tricked and convinced us that we need to perpetually consume to attain happiness. Thus, we look outside of ourselves to find a sense of fulfillment. Of course, we need to make a living and we need to survive, yet to think, I can only be happy when I get, fill in the blank, this is a rat race that only leads to more suffering. It only keeps us further from our greatest realization, which comes from connecting to our inner being. We nurture this relationship by finding ourselves in stillness. Practical tips. Let's take a look at the 3 simple-step strategy. You've got to be it. Identify with being a person who has mastered a particular habit. Realize that you might be a novice, but that you are on the same path as this master the moment you make your decision. You are what you've committed to being. Embody your intended new habit. Breathe it, feel it, be it. Feel empowered with this identity. You are a yogi. What does your version of a yogi stand like, talk like, look like, behave like, breathe like, dress like? Be that. You've got to do it. Once you've decided what you will be, you are setting a wave of change in motion. Sometimes visible change takes time, like when you plant a seed. There's much happening under the surface, but you don't see the plant break through the soil until after a while. The same is true when we choose a different trajectory for our lives. We make a decision, we make different choices to attain different results, and it takes some time before we see and feel our breakthroughs. Decide, intend, and embody what you are becoming. Your habits, every single action is what your life is made of, and it is what you become. Get to a space of clear, focused awareness so that your choices will be made mindfully. Then you'll have it. Imagine what you will have when you are doing and being what you envision. Having is the natural result, yet it is of least importance. Physical tools are insanely useful, but your things are not you. They are merely used to create your imprint on this planet. Don't let these physical tools overshadow your experience. Focus on being and doing, not getting. And when you become what you are and you do what you must, you will have what you need. Accountability. The number one reason that people don't follow through with their new habits is that they don't have a support system that holds them accountable. When we are trying to elevate ourselves, it is paramount to have a support system. This could be a friend or family member who shares your interest in transformation and who may want to do this program with you. Mental blocks. When we walk up against things that we, for whatever reason, find hard to deal with, there are generally two things that we can do. Deal with it anyways, or not deal with it and instead procrastinate. Situations that make us procrastinate are mental blocks, which are evolutionary survival mechanisms to help us avoid discomfort. Especially in modern rich countries, the bar of discomfort is so low because we have so successfully regulated what kind of people and what kind of situations we encounter in our daily lives. In order to keep yourself from endless episodes of procrastination, you need to learn to become aware of when and how these arise so that you can catch them. Recognize when you are procrastinating and shift gears. Learning to be the witness of your mind and your habits is a necessary practice so you can make a conscious choice about where your mind goes instead of being at the mercy of looping, avoidance, and stagnation. The mental blocks that we create are divided into four main procrastination inducers. Low tolerance to discomfort. When we feel discomfort, we avoid it by doing something that feels better and that feeds the instant gratification monkey that lives in our mind. Guilt. We superficially change our perspective and make excuses because we feel guilty. As a result, we avoid dealing with the problem because our guilt is too uncomfortable to move past. Besides that this does not allow us to solve the present situation, this guilt remains in our subconsciousness, affecting future related experiences. Boredom. Some of the very important tasks in our lives can be extremely boring. When we feel that we don't need to be subjected to these kinds of tasks, we put them off. And instead we do something that gives us more joy right now, or at least lets us forget about the mundane for a little bit. Low self-confidence. Even small tasks can be overwhelming. We overthink them, yet instead of thinking about the actions that would get them done, we think about the emotions we have felt in the past when things didn't go well. By not recognizing the lessons from past failure, we project the failure onto our future, giving us general low confidence. This low confidence then gets to the core of our being until we think that we are not worthy of a life overflowing with meaning. And then we avoid taking action altogether in fear of both success and imaginary failure. Which of these four mental blocks is strongest in you? How do they affect your life? Being aware of these mental blocks is essential. What will you do to overcome your mental blocks? Procrastination occurs more frequently when we are not sharply focused on addressing our work or responsibilities. To avoid procrastination, it is helpful to organize our physical and mental workspace, which includes turning off and muting distractions, evaluating your relationships with your telephone, and then taking steps to create distance can be extremely liberating. When our mind encounters challenges or situations of great demand that don't necessarily make us happier, our body produces stress. Stress was of great evolutionary help to humanity when we had our enemies on the savannas. But in the 21st century, stress is mostly created by artificial challenges and deadlines that are neither related to survival nor to the exploration of our humanity, but instead they originate from keeping up the illusions of our economy. Of course, this is the reason why stress is so accepted in our societies. Keeping people drugged with stress is the only way that people tolerate the oppressive economic system, where the earth's resources go to the highest bidder. Stress makes us look for quick shots of dopamine to escape our discomfort. Stress turns humans into consumers of food, of products, and high energy experiences. There are plenty of things that help to replenish our well of energy, including plant based foods, sleep, a positive mindset, and conscious breathing. It is vital to monitor your well of energy and to replenish it regularly. How can we confront our fears and become motivated by the amazing energy of our most elevated desires? How can you move beyond your fears and continue on the steps towards expressing your true voice and your authentic self? We must have the courage to observe our habits. We need to understand our tendencies and adjust them to reflect our hopes instead of our fears. And when we operate from this canvas, we can be the best version of ourselves. The following methods can help you deal with procrastination. Challenge your beliefs. Deal with uncertainty. Learn to cope with disappointment and failure. Challenge your beliefs. Many of our current false beliefs that hold us back in life have entered our minds when they were most susceptible to input. When we were children, we might believe that we get judged when we tell the truth, or that we'll get rejected if we tell others how we feel about them. Other people believe that money is the root of all evil, or that they are better or worse human beings than others. It's important to evaluate whether your beliefs are reasonable. whether they are based on reality, and whether they are helpful for your life. Which of your beliefs need to be challenged? Why? Which beliefs do you want to keep? Which ones belong in the dumpster? Deal with uncertainty. Uncertainty is a part of life, so it is crucial that you learn to accept it. Being with uncertainty is hard for most people. There's nothing wrong with it, yet it can fill us with lots of fear, stress, and anxiety. Remember that evolution is about survival of the most adaptable. Therefore, you must learn to manage your mind in the face of uncertainty, whilst you're looking at the root of why a certain event triggers you. What is it about uncertainty that you're most afraid of? Cope with disappointment and failure. As the sayings go, failure is not falling, failure is not getting up again, and failure is a chance to do better. Failure teaches us, so learn your lessons. Don't take it personal, don't be disappointed or even angry with yourself that you didn't achieve what you set out to do. Get up, grow, and do better. Is there a time in your life when failure turned out to be a marvelous thing? Stack your habits. A thought is always triggered by something. This trigger can be the tiniest thing, so we consciously might not even know what it was. Our actions work in the very same way. To successfully implement new habits, you want them to be triggered by something else. You want to automate them by using anchoring tools to anchor your habits. As an example, you might be at a stage in your life that you snack too much and now you decide that you will only eat 2 chocolates a day. You could get used to eating them right after lunch and right after dinner. Lunch and dinner become your anchor points. This preemptive decision may help you overcome your habit of walking to your snack shelf and indulging whenever you want. Another example is if you decide to make space for practicing gratitude. You could put up a note to remind yourself, somewhere right where you see it when you wake up. Perhaps on your bathroom mirror or next to your bed. Waking up would be your anchor point. Practicing gratitude would be your new successful habit. Very successful people create structures for success by stacking their habits. A successful person's morning routine may look like this. Wake up, practice gratitude, drink a glass of water, use the restroom, brush their teeth, do physical exercise, take a cold shower, practice meditation, and make breakfast. Each habit becomes an anchor point for the next habit to build upon, and a great morning routine can be launched by something as simple as a gratitude reminder note that you mindfully placed to see the first thing in the morning. Yoga space. It is beneficial for anyone who is starting new habits to set up a designated space where to practice them. A quiet area inside your home with optional items like a yoga mat, a yoga pillow, crystals, and candles that make your practice inviting and accessible when you need it. This can be as small or as large as is available to you. Having a space that is always ready increases the chances that you will sit and meditate. It is setting up yourself and your yogi you for success. Create this space in a peaceful place if possible, somewhere where you will not be disturbed. You can ideally face an empty wall, nature, or something that doesn't distract you. Where will you set up your yoga space? How will you set it up? How can you make it feel like a conducive and nourishing space? Besides yoga poses and meditation, yogic habits help to recalibrate the body in a way that ensures an optimal flow of energy through the body. These habits can be incorporated into all aspects of your life: eating, sleeping, moving, and breathing. And since yoga is an experiential science that deals with the inner workings of the mind, it is important to have a teacher or a program which can help you make sense of your experience and guide you along your way. Including yoga in your life will take you on a wonderful journey. You will begin to express the unique gift that you are and make the universe a better place as you join us on yoga's path. What can you expect? Let's briefly talk about each module in the program so that you'll have a solid idea of what you're up against. Module 1, Visualization. You will learn the science and the purpose of visualization. We'll take you on powerful guided meditations that will help you look deep inside yourself and connect with your inner being, giving you clarity about who you are and where you are going. With affirmations and guided meditations, we teach you how to embed your future success into your subconsciousness. Module 2, Organizing. Yoga is about organizing our body and mind, which is much easier when you live in a conducive and stress-free environment. Organizing distraction-free living and working space is fundamental. Will help you organize your calendar more efficiently through exercises that let you implement your desired life into your current one. Module 3, Learn Theory. Studying the wonders of life enhances your perspective on reality. Acknowledging and admiring the universe around you lets you interact more fully with your surroundings, with your family, and especially with yourself. Yoga has thousands of years of history, and there's powerful material that will recommend to incrementally connect you with your inner being. Module 4, Asanas Yoga. For most people, the yoga journey starts and ends with gymnastics that was mostly invented in the 20th century. And even though there's no doubt about the benefits of physical yoga practice, it is not the focus of yoga. In this module, we'll teach you a sequence that will greatly enhance your all-round stability in only 10 minutes a day. Module 5, Cold Showers. Science is rapidly catching up with many ancient techniques that enhance the immune system, give strength to the body, and provide clarity to the mind. Cold showers aren't scary, but they take us out of our comfort zone. And outside of our comfort zone is a whole new world of amazing opportunities. Your mind deserves cold showers too. Module 6, Nutrition. Society and especially corporations are making us think that supermarket food is normal for humans. A yogic perspective and contemporary science give us renewed insight and tools to take better care of our body and our mind. We'll look at your current eating habits and then we'll help you upgrade them. Taking compulsion out of your menu will put you back in charge of what you are putting into your body. Module 7, Breathing. We'll take a look at one of the most important aspects of our physicality. Pranayama literally means taking charge of the life force. It is a simple and often overlooked aspect of our functioning, and it is a core quality of any yogi. Breathing right is essential for letting our prana flow. You will learn potent techniques that you can easily implement in only minutes a day. Module 8. Be a force for good. Arguably the most important aspect of yoga is how you engage with the life around you. Experientially identifying with existence on all levels is an advanced aspect of yoga, but intellectually doing so is elemental. Once we understand that all life is one, we can get access to manifesting the possibility of it. Let the love flow from your inside so that you can touch the bliss of existence. Module 9. Journaling. Writing down what's going on inside your head lets you understand your emotions better, and it improves your mental health. We'll be teaching you techniques to do this efficiently and painlessly so that you'll get to discover new sides of yourself. Module 10. Sleeping. Sleeping well saves us so much time. The better you sleep, the more time and energy you have. We'll talk about what's going on inside ourselves when we close our eyes for the night, and about how we can optimize our sleep latency. Module 11. Mantra chanting. All energy and all life are vibration. The sounds that make up mantras are scientifically engineered to access the subtlest aspects of life. Chanting provides health and clarity. Module 12. Grounding. Humans have had direct physical contact with the earth below us for millions of years, until the day we started mass producing shoes made of plastic that is not conducive. Let's get you to connect with the planet again. Module 13. Meditation. We are saving the best for last. Here we are adding powerful tantric yoga meditation methods to your life that will give you a renewed clarity of mind that you have not experienced before. Practicing this every day makes merging with the divine a real possibility. I would love for you to be a part of this program. So if you haven't signed up yet, go and do it right now. There's also an option to do private coaching with yours truly, or to join our small groups. Go to our website to see when the next group will start. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Namaste.